Welcome to another episode of Stez Talk. I am your host, Steven, and on today's episode, I'm going to talk about comparison between here and the United States. I am currently traveling with my wife here in Japan. I first started my stay here in Tokyo. I'm actually getting ready to travel to Osaka and do some sightseeing down there. If you actually want to see more videos about my trip here in Japan, you could subscribe to my channel at Stez World. You could find it in the description down below. And pretty much here in Japan, it's pretty different. It's a different world. This is actually my first time visiting East Asia. I've been to Asia before, but western side of Asia. So pretty much here, what I notice is very clean. The city is very clean compared to my hometown of New York City. Besides being clean, it's very well organized. I kind of noticed there's a lot of this discipline within the Japanese culture in terms of work ethic. I'm not sure if 100% of the Japanese have work ethic. Maybe I'm gonna say 98. If I'm wrong, you could write a comment down below. Pretty much impressed how things are here. Compared to the United States, there's pros and cons in both countries, but I cannot say much because I only been here at the time of this recording for 3 days. So I cannot compare and contrast fully. I mean, I have to stay here for maybe 6 months to fully comprehend the system, the lifestyle, how the locals lived here. But my first impression is pretty much discipline in cleanliness and discipline in work ethics. It's kind of cold weather. Actually the mid December, just before the Christmas holiday and the New Year holidays. So it's kind of cold, but not that cold here in Tokyo. I kind of noticed that temperature ranges anywhere between 40 and 60 degrees. My first night here was actually near 60 degrees, and it felt wonderful coming from New York City, where it's at this time of the year is around the lower 30s. The coldest day was my second day here, where I actually spent the whole day walking with my wife, visiting Shibuya, and I noticed it was very windy. I'm not sure if I can compare it as the windy city in Chicago. It was so windy, it was so cold. One thing that I noticed walking in the street on that day is the Japanese, they had their winter gear on, but the majority very rarely had like a winter hat on or a hoodie on. Me and my wife, we were the only one walking the street with our coats, winter gear on, with the hat and the hoodie, while I'm watching the Japanese people suffer in the cold. And I was like, and I was pretty much concerned if I was, hopefully I was not doing a tourist offense mistake, because there's a lot of like ethics here in this country, which is kind of nice, but also kind of like, I'm not gonna say annoying, but I just don't want to offend the people out in the street. I know one thing for sure that Japanese people don't like is when you're eating and walking the street. In the United States, it's very common to eat and walk in the street like nothing, but here it's like an offense type of thing. And also the no tipping culture. There's no tipping culture here in Japan. So if you actually try to leave a tip at a restaurant, the waiter or whoever is taking care of you, they're actually gonna come running back out to give your tip back, because to them it's like an offense. I know there's some Japanese YouTube channels out there that actually could explain the reason about this. I recommend you to go to those. I cannot explain because I'm just a visitor for like a week, so I don't know fully comprehend that no tipping culture. Also, public transportation is amazing here. Coming from New York City, which sadly I'm gonna say is one of the best public transport in the United States, but it's trash. I mean, there's so much delays. I mean, the good thing about New York City public subway or public transportation is 24 hours. Here, they end like very late at night. I'm not sure what time. It's very efficient. The fare, for example, in New York City, public transportation, you could actually, one fare, you could go to any part of the city with one fare. Here in Tokyo, is actually based on distance. If you're actually going outside of Tokyo or as part of the city limits outside of the center part of the city, is going to be quite expensive. Could probably average around 900 yens, 6 to 900 yens. I'm assuming the areas where I actually go is probably spent less than 300 yens. I think that's less than $2, $2 and something cents. I don't know. Another thing that I noticed, the yen has been devalued so much. The most affordable developed countries in the world. The United States is expensive right now to travel domestically. If you want to travel to New York, you're going to spend a lot. If you're going to travel to California, doesn't matter if you go to San Francisco, Los Angeles, it's going to be expensive. Here in Japan, it's a little bit cheaper, but not by that much. But that was just my experience here in Tokyo. I'm going to travel to Osaka, so I'm going to check it out how things are over there. And of course, just like any other place around the world, when you go outside of the major cities, things are going to be a lot cheaper. This is just a short video of me here in Japan. So as this thing is moving automatically, let me just move here so you can see where I'm at. I'm actually like in some financial district area here in Japan, in Tokyo to be exact. I can't even pronounce the name of this place. Let me see what it is. It is actually called Shinjuku area. I'm actually in the Shinjuku area of Tokyo, much a financial district, but it's close by major shopping center, subway stations, and it's pretty accessible to travel around the city from here. Kind of notice there's a lot of business personnel here in this hotel and in the surrounding areas. I believe the majority of the tourists they'll be going to Shibuya part of town, which is kind of interesting. I went to Shibuya. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I mean, I have not been following what the heck is going on back in the United States. Being away from the United States and not following what the current events are over there, besides the possible war with Venezuela, seems like it's picking up. It feels great mentally, not following up with all the trash talk and all the division that's causing over there and back home. Let's enjoy. Let's enjoy our stay, my stay here in Japan with my wife, and keep on exploring this new city, new country that I'm currently visiting right now. And you know what? Remember to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next week Sunday. And remember to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Stez World for travel, and Stez Finanzas for the personal finance side. Once again, take care.